Hi, kindergarten. It's Miss Cliff. Today we're going to read a Level H book called The Parking Ticket. In today's book, we will make connections using prior knowledge, and we will also make inferences. The first thing I want to do is to look at the front cover and the title page. I want you to start by making a prediction of what the story will be about based on the pictures and the title. So I will show you the front cover here and the title page. Now that you've seen those pictures and you've read the title, The Parking Ticket, I want you to stop and I want you to make a prediction about what you think the story will be about. So pause the video and turn and talk with a parent or sibling now. Now that you've made a prediction about what you think the story will be about, let's head back to page 12 and take a look at the glossary. We know the glossary defines words that can be found in the story, so let's go through them together. The first word is court, a place where legal cases are heard. The next word is curb, a concrete or stone edge of a street. The next word is fight, to speak or work against something seen as unfair or wrong. Judge. A judge is a person whose job is to decide cases in a court of law. Law, a rule or set of rules made by a government. And our last word in our glossary is parking ticket, a special paper that tells a person that he or she owes money for parking somewhere not allowed. Now that we've gone through our glossary, let's go back to the front cover. As I told you before, we are going to be using our prior knowledge to make connections while we read. So I'm going to show you a video so that we can get some more knowledge before we begin reading. That way we can make more connections as we read.
Hello, boys and girls. Today, we are going to talk about laws, rights, and responsibilities. Citizens have rights, or special things that people are allowed to do. But rights do not allow people to do whatever they want. Government leaders create laws to make sure this doesn't happen. Laws are a set of rules that protect people and the things they own. In the United States of America, citizens have freedom of speech. People have the right to talk about important things and share their opinions. But they still have to obey the laws. It is part of a citizen's responsibility to follow the law. Shh. A responsibility is a duty, or something that people must do. Citizens also have the right to buy the things that they need or want. They cannot just take them. That is against the law. Laws help citizens live safely and fairly with one another. Let's review. Rights are special things that citizens are allowed to do. Laws are a set of rules that protect people and the things they own. The government creates laws to make sure that people don't do whatever they want. This keeps citizens and their property safe. It is part of a citizen's responsibility to follow the law. A responsibility is a duty or something that people must do. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
So as we know, a law is a set of rules made by government. It's important to follow the laws because they keep people safe. Those that break the laws have consequences. So this is going to be important information for us to know as we read so we can connect to our prior knowledge. Good readers make connections between what they already know and new information that they read. Connecting to prior knowledge helps us better understand and enjoy what we read. So I want to model making a connection right now. I know that the title is The Parking Ticket. So I can make a connection because I've gotten a parking ticket before and I've experienced that. My experience was that after I finished college and I moved back to Farmington Hills, I got a parking ticket from the city of Kalamazoo where I went to college, but I wasn't even living there. So I had to call, and they figured out that they got the wrong license plate and it actually wasn't my car. So I figured out my parking ticket very easily. So that's me having a connection and thinking about what I know. And hopefully that will help me when I'm reading this story. I can tap into my prior knowledge, and that will help me understand what I'm reading and make inferences. Authors don't always use detail to explain everything that happens in a story. Sometimes they give clues to figure out what isn't said in the words. This is called making inferences, and that's something we're going to practice today. Here are words to know, which we found in the glossary earlier: court, curb, fight, judge, law, parking ticket. I'm going to read first, and then I want you to read it back to me. Here we go. One day, Mom found a parking ticket on our car. Go ahead. The ticket said it was against the law to park where we had parked. The ticket said Mom had to pay money to the city. Go ahead and read that back to me. Let's stop here and look at the picture. Can you infer how Mom is feeling? The text didn't tell us how she was feeling, but let's look at the picture. By looking at the picture, we can fill in the gaps where the words don't tell us. I'm looking at the picture, and Mom is holding that piece of paper in front of her that says parking ticket. And she kind of has a stern look on her face, doesn't she? Look at her eyebrows are kind of furrowed. She's looking down. How do you think she's feeling? Can you infer? I want you to pause the video, turn and talk with a parent or sibling about how you think Mom feels right now. Do that now. I infer that Mom is feeling kind of angry. She has her eyebrows down. She looks like she is not very happy that she got a parking ticket. Mom pointed across the street. See how that curb is painted red? She asked me. See those signs that tell you not to park there? She added. Your turn to read. Go. Now I want to stop here and ask a question. Why did Mom point at the signs and look at the curb? The book hasn't told us why yet. What do you think? Can you make a connection or infer? Let's pause the video and turn and talk with a parent or sibling and tell them why you think Mom was pointing at the signs and pointing at the curb. Do that now. I see Mom pointing at the signs and the red curb across the street. There's the curb with the red line. But I infer that the curb is not red where Mom parked. So she's looking at the signs across the street where it says no parking and the red line, but where she parked, there isn't a red line. So I infer she's saying, look, it's across the street, not here where I am. Let's keep reading. Our parking spot had no signs. The red paint on our curb was very faded. Your turn to read. Now, what can you infer from the words and the pictures on this page? They're looking at the curb. The parking spot had no signs, and they're looking at that red paint, and you can barely see it. It's very faded. So what can you infer? I want you to pause the video and turn and talk with a parent or sibling about what you infer about the words and picture on this page. I infer that Mom didn't know that she wasn't supposed to park there because the paint has faded. If the red paint was as red as it was across the street, she probably wouldn't have parked there because she knew she wasn't supposed to. So there's no signs and no red paint on the curb to tell her not to park there. So she didn't know. Mom took some photos with her phone. We're going to fight this ticket, she said. These photos will help, she added. Go ahead and read that back to me. Now let's stop here and talk about why did Mom take photos with her phone? I want you to pause the video and turn and talk with a parent or sibling to discuss why is Mom taking pictures with her phone? Let's do that now. I think that Mom is taking pictures with her phone because she says she wants to fight the ticket. Now, we know that in the glossary, we saw that word fight. In the glossary, fight means to speak or work against something seen as unfair or wrong. So, Mom isn't going to fight like punching with her fists or kicking with her feet. She's going to speak or work against the ticket because she feels like it's unfair. She feels like it's unfair because the red paint is faded and there's no signs there telling her not to park. So she's taking pictures so that she can show that she didn't know she wasn't supposed to park there. We went to court. Mom told the judge our story. She showed him our ticket. She showed him our pictures. Go ahead and read that back to me. Nice job reading. The judge looked at the photos. The judge looked at Mom. I agree with you, the judge said. Your turn to read. Now let's stop here and discuss, why did the judge agree with Mom? Pause the video and turn and talk with a parent or sibling to discuss this. Go ahead. What I can infer is that the judge looked at the ticket and then also looked at all the pictures that Mom took with her phone. He probably saw that there was no red paint on the curb and no signs telling Mom that she couldn't park there. So he probably agreed with her because it was unclear that that was a no parking zone. We did not have to pay. Mom thanked him and we left. Read it back to me. Nice work, reader. Mom took me out for ice cream. We were very careful where we parked. Read it back to me. Now let's stop and talk about, what lesson did Mom learn about parking? I want you to stop and I want you to think about your prior knowledge, and I want you to make some inferences. What did Mom learn about parking? Pause the video and turn and talk with a parent or sibling about it. I think the lesson that Mom learned is that she needs to be careful where she parks so that she's not breaking the law, and really paying attention to the signs and to the red curb around where she wants to park. I think she also learned that she needs to stand up for herself when she thinks something is unfair, because there weren't very many signs or indicators that she shouldn't park there. And she stood up for herself and fought back in court, and the judge agreed with her. The next thing I want us to stop and discuss is, how does Mom feel at the end of the story? The text doesn't tell us how she feels, so we need to infer by connecting our prior knowledge and what we just learned in the story, and then looking at the picture here on page 11. Let's infer about how Mom feels. Pause the video and turn and talk to a parent or sibling about it. I would say that Mom feels happy because she doesn't have to pay for the ticket, and now she knows where she can and cannot park. I think she's also feeling happy because instead of having to pay for a parking ticket, now she could go and have ice cream with her daughter and feel much better about the situation. Let's get ready for our writing assignment. Today's writing assignment, you're going to answer the focus question, which is, what did Mom do after she got a parking ticket? Why? So I want you to include at least 4 complete sentences to retell what Mom did after she got the parking ticket and what were her reasons for doing those things. Use detail in your writing and go back to double check for a capital letter at the beginning, spaces between your words, and punctuation at the end of every single sentence. You are going to complete this as well as the quick check for comprehension. So don't forget to go back and reread on your own before you do those things. I also have a bonus craft for you. Included in our lesson today, you will get this printout of a police car that you can decorate by coloring or painting and cutting out and gluing together. You could do that, or you could get creative with some materials that you already have around your home. For example, you could take a paper plate and cut it up to make a car. You could also use toilet paper tubes and caps of applesauce or baby food to make racing cars. If you have any toy cars, you can also use paint and roll your cars through the paint to see their tracks. That would be a fun outside activity. Or if you have an extra box, you could always decorate it to make your own car to run around outside in and race. I hope you have fun with your writing activity as well as the crafts. If you do any of the fun craft activities, make sure to take a picture and send it to your teacher. We would love to see how creative you got with this. Have fun, and I will see you later. Bye, friends.